One of I loved, remember Rogan like really got on your ass because you're talking about like how you beat everybody in the whole world up?
Yeah, but I was making a joke. That's what they don't realize.
I
got
reminded of
Brendan and I were I was going into a bit because I was going, and I'll fuck you up. And he goes, oh, this is where Bryan thinks he's tough. And I go, you cut me off. And I just saw that and realized that was it. No, do you remember that? When I was going to go.
How long ago?
I was going to, I was about to, it was a long time ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah, more. And I was about to go like this. I was about to go, and you know, I was going to go, and I'll tell you something else. You come at me, you better come at me correct. I was going to joke around with you.
Yeah.
And he thought I was being tough. So now it says Joe Rogan straightens out tough guy Bryan Callen. I saw that and I was like,
that's good.
I was like, hey, I was doing a bit, but I got stopped in the middle of it and it sounded like I was trying to be tough.
That does make way more sense because I remember watching like one of these little YouTube commentary videos talking about it, and I'm just thinking in my head, like, what the fuck is Bryan doing? Like, you're in a room full of fucking MMA fighters and you're talking like you're a god.
Right.
And I was just like, that is weird. Like,
of course it's weird. I would never do that.
That does make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I was literally about to go into a bit and I didn't even realize that was
sometimes you will do that.
No. I would never do that because I was literally I was cutting you off and I was saying something about how I was gonna beat you up. Yeah. Which is that I was gonna go in there and you would have picked up on it. But Joe cuts me right off. And I saw that circulating and I watched it. I go, what? And I was like, oh no, that was edited.
Like circulating now or back then?
Well, it just made the rounds where I was
the
Joe
full
Rogan
4 hours is never going to make the rounds again. It's just like, oh, look at this 5 minutes we got right here, though. This shit is fucking
he
crazy.
started telling me how that I was around toxic people, and I was like, oh, geez, this is. I was like,
went south.
I know. I was like, I don't feel good right now.
The baddest I've ever seen Rogan get at you is me and Bryan were fucking around is when he had the studio up here, and Bryan, we're like literally fucking around.
This is what
and he grabs a pool cube.
Yeah.
You know, Rogan loves pool. We don't know pool. But he grabs this cube and it's like a $8,000 pool cube, but Bryan's using it like a fucking like sword at me. And he's about to break it. And Rogan comes out of the bathroom and goes, what the fuck are you two doing?
No, because he goes.
He was like, what the fuck? Put it down.
I looked at him and I go, I just wanted to fuck. I like poking the bear. And I go, it's Rough House Sunday today. And he goes, what? I go, it's Rough House Sunday. I feel like rough housing around with you. And so he goes, so Brendan goes, he's dressed up. He goes, nah. I go, nah, come on. And I start kind of pushing him. And he's like, okay. Then I push him again. Then I slap him in the face. And then he goes, I knew I was in trouble because he took his watch off. he goes, and I go, no. He goes, no, come on. I go, no. And now he starts chasing me around the pool table. And I grab a pool table cue, and I'm trying to keep him away, but you can't.
He's using it like a sword. He's like,
but it's a $6,000 pool cue.
We didn't know.
And Rogan was like, what the fuck? It was handmade. He saw the video of us if you were chasing me. It was called Rough House Sunday. And then you took me and you squeezed me until I almost peed.
This is the video, Chin?
Yeah.
Is this one, Adam? Do you remember?
I think this is. It looks like
for a full year. And it turned me into a fucking, if somebody tried to bull me, I'll show you.
You look so different. You look like The Rock.
You're a little serious there.
So angry.
You're dead serious there.
When he talks like that, I hate it.
Hey,
That's not true.
You watch. If I you try bullying me right now, motherfucker.
Let
me see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Here's the problem. You've talked to too many guys that let.
See, he stopped me.
And then it becomes like,
but you were serious to that first part, like a normal guy bullying you, and then you were gonna do a bit with me, and Rogan jumped in the middle.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, come on. I was like about to go to you and stuff.
You're about to go do a bit, yeah.
And I would have gone on about that, but I'm not talking about being a tough guy.
Right.
I'm never gonna tell you a story. You know those guys who tell you stories about high school when they were in sports or the fight they got into.
Oh my God.
And you go, I don't think this is true. Like, you know, and while everybody exaggerates, we all exaggerate. I'll exaggerate, we exaggerate. But as far as like telling I'm not gonna tell you a story. I'm never gonna tell you this story. If I got into a shoving match, I'm not gonna say, and then the dude swung on me, I ducked, I came back, and I'm just not gonna go into that.
Right.
That's a lie.
Just in general, if somebody starts telling you a long-winded story and then at some point during the story you realize that the whole purpose of this story is just for them to tell you about how tough they were one time or how they punched someone or how they got over on somebody, it's just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I am so much more economical with my words. Like, I'm just not going to tell you a story where the end of the story is like, and then I fucked 3 chicks.
Yeah.
Which is like, dudes do that to me all the time. And I've realized partway through, like, oh, this is a terrible story. Like,
And they're doing it for them.
Exactly.
So you
They
know,
wanna
like,
be-
hey, dude, I fuck.
yeah. And especially like telling me about you fucking 3 chicks is like telling you about beating somebody up.
Yeah,
where it's
right.
like,
The
okay,
worst.
I've done this for a living for all these years. So you really can't impress
Yeah, it's
me by
not-
talking about a bar fight.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
that's-
save your time.
We deal with
man.
that all the time. Like somebody, I was
The
an
worst.
athlete. Brendan goes, "You're better about it now." I'd have a friend be like, "Yeah, I was a really good athlete." Brendan goes, "What do you mean by that? Define that." Like, what do you mean? Where'd you play? No, because in high school I ran a 4.5.
As soon as I hear in high school, I
you
check
go
it
like
out.
this. You go, no, you didn't though.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't. 4.5's NFL speed. So we got to talk about this for a second.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Somebody starts trying to wow you, but
Oh,
you got
dude.
more knowledge. Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah.
It's good.
I knew this dude back in the day who would still, like, every 6 months he'd post his high school football highlights on his Instagram story.
Come on.
You know, and I'm just like, bro, you're 26. Like, get over it. It's
Also,
way
what's
in
this
the past.
for, dude?
Yeah.
What's this for?
I love.
People-
I
oh,
love
you could have
seeing
made
where
it,
I
man.
am. Like I ran sprints with a bunch of NFL players. Now I was 54. And even when I was 20, it would have been like I was standing still. And I was like, I like doing that just to see how tough I'm not
Yeah.
and how fast I'm not.
Right.
And when you run against those guys, I think this is not an exaggeration. I could be at the 50-yard line, and I think they would beat me into the end
Oh,
zone.
absolutely.
To get me,
Oh.
right?
What do you mean you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's how much faster they are.